For 2025, the GMC Acadia AT4 got some updates. And the updates I'm talking about is taking away features that they had for 2024. I borrowed this SUV from Jerry Seiner, Buick GMC here in South Jordan, Utah. It is available for sale. Be sure to ask for Frank if you'd like to purchase it. Let's go and check out the window sticker. At the very top is the description with the color. So this is the Ebony Twilight Metallic. And then here is a short listing of the standard equipment. Be sure to pause it. Base price comes in at $51,200, and here are all the options. So it has a panoramic sunroof for $1,500, luxury package for $1,150, and then that paint was $495. Destination is $1,395 with a total price of $55,740. And here are the fuel economy numbers. For 2025, the GMC Acadia does start $1,200 higher. And as I said, there's a few things missing, which we'll go over here in a second. Now on the front, you guys see in the center, you have a silver accent on that grille. There is a camera right there. Also, they do give you an AT4 badge. Now you can black out your badges for 2025. You weren't able to do that last year. And as we get a little bit closer, you have those red recovery hooks. And you have some skid plates down below. And that's one good advantage of having an off-road SUV like this. If you run over something, the good news is you won't damage the front bumper because it sits a little bit higher. And these do have a 1-inch higher ride height too, if you're not familiar. On the front end, you have the full LED headlights, projector style, high and low beam. You have a reflective style LED fog light down below. And then let's take a quick peek at the suspension. So you're going to have one control arm down below, coilover setup, and they do give you a fabric material for the wheel well. And then here are the tires. These are the Goodyear Wrangler Territory ATs, 18-inch wheel. You can get a black wheel if you are ordering from the factory too. 265, 65, 18 is that tire size, 2,601 pounds. These tires have 51 max PSI. I'll show you guys the door sticker to see what GMC recommends. You have some accent lights on the side here. And then here's a good side view. I think black works great with the Acadia because you do have plastic fender flares and then down below. So it just kind of blends in with it and it gives it a better appearance. Now on the mirrors, they do paint the caps, parking sensor, cameras. No puddle lights down here, however. AT4 badge. You can see some of that plastic down below. I actually don't mind the plastic here because if you are someone that likes to run your car through the car wash, if this was all painted, it would get scratched up and it wouldn't look good over time. Smart key system with painted door handles, and all the trimming around the windows has like a gloss black, which looks really good. More of your lights on those fender flares, and then this is where we're going to fill up at. Regular fuel. And they do give you a fabric material in the wheel well there. Now down below, more plastic parking sensors. They give you the dual exhaust with the quad tips. Looks really good. And they do paint the trimming down there. Interesting. Hide the hitch for you. They have one of your cameras with the sprayer. It's gonna be for backup. Let's go ahead and pop this open too. So that's one good advantage of the Acadia. You have a ton of space behind the third row seat. I want to say, I did a comparison with the Yukon. I want to say you have a little bit more back behind the third row in this versus that too. But you definitely have more storage below this floor. See how deep it is? There is a spare tire under here as well. You have to unhook those 4 little plastic tabs there. They screw off basically. And then you can get your spare tire out. Tie downs, they do provide a 12-volt power plug, and these seats are manually operated, and you can do 3 across back here too, which is nice. LED taillights. And let's go ahead and talk about this powertrain. Here's that new 2.5 liter inline 4 turbocharged engine. It's going to have 328 horsepower, 326 pound-feet of torque. Very controversial. A lot of people have mentioned in the comment sections on my Chevy Traverse videos that they do not like the idea of this engine. Now, here's what I'll tell you. My opinion is, for this type of vehicle, this is fine. I think what people have to understand is this is probably better than naturally aspirated engines, simply because at higher elevations they don't feel as sluggish. I actually did a performance test comparing this engine with the 5.3 liter V8 on a Chevy Tahoe, and this won. You know why? Because the forced induction does make up for the power loss at these higher elevations. But if you do live at elevation, I still think this engine might win, simply because this SUV is lighter, obviously, but on top of that, 328 horsepower is not far off from the 355 on the 5.3 liter V8. So yes, I understand the hate, but the 2.5 liter does put down the power pretty strong. It does have an 8-speed transmission behind it. Let's go and check out the interior. Last time I showed this interior, people had mixed feelings about it. Now, I prefer an outdoorsy interior color for an off-road SUV. It just makes sense, right? This is the forest and mahogany, and you guys see you have this green on the door here, and they have like this mahogany color stitching with a little bit of red right there, and they give you like this dark silver color for the door. And I like the overall styling of this trim piece. Soft touch, pretty much all on the top, which you normally see on these. Auto up and down for just the driver's side, but auto down for everything else. No power folding mirrors, no seat memories. Satin finish for that door handle there, and then you can pop that rear hatch right there. Premium sound system, a little bit of storage down there too. Now here's what they took away for 2025. You used to have a 12-way seat back in 2024. For 2025, you now have a 10-way because your lumbar no longer goes up and down. So my humble opinion is, if you can find a 2024, I would go that route, because if there's still some out there, you can get a nice discount on them too, and you get a lower starting price. So it's just a win-win. I think that a lot of manufacturers are doing these weird takeaway stuff for the next model year stuff, and they're all doing it, all of them. But nevertheless, you guys can see on these seats, you have that mahogany piping right here, a little bit of cloth inserts on the seats there, more of that stitching. It says AT4 on the headrest, and that perforated leather. It's going to help these to breathe better. And as you guys saw, ventilated seats were an option on this trim level. Here's some of your controls. You have electronic parking brake, drive modes. This does have the twin clutch all-wheel drive system, auto stop start, and then you can dim this 11-inch screen. On the dash here, more soft touch in that forest green color. Let's go ahead and check out the passenger side. There's your kick plate. On this side you have, actually this is going to be an 8-way seat. So you can push up the seat, but you can't push up this cushion on the front end here. But yeah, lumbar, which is still nice. Now on the dash, this is not plastic, but it's like a kind of like a hard vinyl right there. A little bit more soft touch. And then they have a speaker grill right there. Open storage down below, and they do give you a 12-volt. They don't give that to you on the Traverse, which is kind of funny. All this is soft touch, has a nice look to it. And out back, of course these seats are going to slide forward and back, and they do recline. You have your anchors for your child seat. Also, seat back pockets right there, and they do provide a grab handle to out back. None on the front end except for on the roof. 120-volt power plug right down there. You have 2 Type-C USBs. Outboard heated seats were an option. Single climate control out back, so it's going to have 3-zone. A little bit of cup holders. And then here's your pass-through to get to that 3rd row seat. And I like how they still add the stitching and the perforated leather back here. Normally on the third row they cheap out and just give you just a basic seat. There's not a lot of seat leg room back here, so your tall passengers are going to have to get the second row occupants to push them forward. So I would just say this is for kids for sure. A little bit of storage, cup holder. They give you a Type-C USB on both sides, and they give you the air vents up there, LED lights obviously for the interior, and then this one does have that optional twin panel sunroof. A little bit of animations on the screens. Here's your push button start right there. Now you do have a new steering wheel. This is a little bit thicker, and I like the overall design. Heated, and for this 11-inch screen you can control this. Before I show it to you, I want to show you a few things on this side, but right here, heads-up display was an option, as you guys saw. And I didn't mention it, but you do have a black liner up here, place for your sunglasses. This is how you control that sunroof, and then you have more lighting controls. 15-inch screen for your center stack. And one thing I like about this is it does go up and down. The other Chevy brand, they go left and right, and I prefer this a lot better personally. If you go to vehicle status, you do now have your trip information here. And if you want to push over like your trip one, if you're traveling, you can hit add to driver screen. And you guys see that? It basically puts it right there for you. And in the menu here, you do have full navigation. So one thing I like to discuss, obviously if you do use your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, you can put this at the very top and have that up here while you use your navigation for the SUV. As far as your cameras go, if you put it in reverse, 360 camera view. Also, if you want to see along the side, so if you're not good at parking, they do give you this side view by pushing this button here. And that just kind of helps you to see if you're in the lines, and I do like this. And then there's a few more camera views, like if you want to see, if you're hooked up to a trailer, you can actually see this camera view out back. If you want to see above, they do have this bird's eye view like this. And if you want to turn off the bird's eye view, you can do that too. It's pretty easy to set all this up. You do have a new column shifter. Down below, they do provide hard buttons for your climate control here. Now, for your heated seats and ventilated seats, you have to use the screen, so it's right here. You can turn it off. You can set it up to where it comes on automatically for you. You can sync everything together too for the driver and passenger and rear occupants. Now, they do have a climate on the screen here as well, so if you want to go to your rear, that's pretty much how you would get back there. You can pretty much control everything there. But yeah, this is really intuitive. I do like how fast this interface is. If you go to your controls, they do have, let's see if it's in here, your universal remote. So like if you want to hook up your garage door opener or your gate, you have up to 8 now versus it used to be just up to 3. So I like that they give that to you. And then here's a few more things like your heads-up display. You can actually turn it off if you don't want that on, especially at nighttime. I always turn mine off. Your fog lights can be controlled within here, because you probably noticed there wasn't a lot of buttons on the outside of this interior, basically because it's all inside this screen here now. And your windshield wipers, turn signals, high beams are on that stock. Last thing I'll show you guys is ambient lighting. If you want to set this up, it's pretty easy to do. You can also turn it off. And I feel as though it's pretty easy to get through this screen. Like once you take a few minutes, these things kind of start to come to you. And by the way, if you want to get to this quick menu, they do have it off to the side to do power window lockout, your fog lights, or if you want to go to your universal remote. I would like to see where you can drag this down and just put it here. That would be kind of nice if you can put it in this open spot. And it's possible that you can do that too. Your lighting controls are easy to get to down there. And then this is for your lane keep assist. You can turn that on. Wireless charger A little bit of storage, 2 USBs, cup holders, nice graphic here on the dash. Here's your center armrest with the stitching and a little bit of perforated leather. Actually, that's not perforated, it's just a graphic. I thought it was perforated leather, but it's not. And then inside of here, they do illuminate this area. No power outlets, however, but they have this removable tray. And let's go ahead and check out the numbers on the door. If you plan on towing or putting this in your business name, these numbers might be important to you. Gross axle weight rating out front is going to be 3196. The rear is 3527. Gross fuel core rating is going to be 6,394. And the wheels are going to be 18 by 8 wide. All in payload is 1,512 pounds. Tire pressure is 35 all the way around. Hope you guys liked the video. I think that the Acadia is still a good buy despite the price increase. These things come pretty loaded. It's now a lot bigger. I want to say it has like what, 80% more cargo capacity. I mean, it's pretty insane how much bigger the Acadia is, and it does look good. Like when I see them going by on the road, they do have a nice presence on the road. So be sure to check out Jerry Seiner's inventory if you would like to purchase. Ask for Frank, let him know you saw the video. See you guys soon. Since you stayed to the end, I wanted to show you guys the drive modes just really quickly. So you have off-road, terrain, tow haul, normal, sport, back to off-road.